One question can shift how we think. It can change how we move through difficulty. It can open a door we didn't know we were standing in front of. Welcome to One Question, a short weekly reflection to help you reconnect with yourself, your choices, your life. Today's question is, what am I avoiding and what would happen if I faced it instead? Years ago, I dated a man that I loved deeply. He was kind and funny, handsome, a really good person. But the relationship itself wasn't good for me, at least not in a lasting way. He was very much torn between the life he had with me and an imaginary life that he thought he might want somewhere else. And while I waited for him to make a decision, I found myself trapped in a loop of uncertainty, anxiety, and hope. I kept thinking, if I just love him more, he'll choose me. If I just wait a little longer, he'll figure it out. If I don't rock the boat, maybe things will settle. But the truth is, I knew deep down in my bones that I was avoiding the thing I didn't want to face. That I might have to be the one to end it. That I might have to break my own heart in order to get free. And so I avoided that for a long time. I avoided it with distraction. I avoided it with busyness. I avoided it with bargaining. I think we all do that sometimes. We convince ourselves that if we wait long enough, maybe we won't have to be the one that acts. But one day I was sitting alone in our living room, and I remember thinking clearly, there has to be something better than this heartbreak. There has to be something better than the loop we're in. There has to be something more waiting on the other side of this decision that I'm avoiding. And that was it. I didn't feel ready. I didn't feel brave. But what I felt was done. And sometimes done is all we need to begin again. Avoidance is one of the quietest forms of self-abandonment. We think we're protecting ourselves by not looking, not naming, not acting. But what we're really doing is dragging that pain out longer. In psychology, avoidance is often categorized as a coping mechanism, sometimes called experiential avoidance. It's when we go out of our way to avoid thoughts, feelings, memories, and situations that make us uncomfortable. There's research that links chronic avoidance to higher levels of anxiety, depression, and even physical health issues. One study published in Behavioral Research and Therapy found that people who regularly avoid uncomfortable emotions had worse long-term outcomes than those who faced their feelings, even when those feelings were difficult. I mean, it makes sense. Avoidance delays discomfort, but it also delays healing. So today's question is a powerful flashlight. What am I avoiding? It might be a conversation, a truth about a relationship, a feeling, a decision, a boundary that you need to reset. Or something that you know in your gut isn't working anymore. So I'll ask you again, and I'll try to be gentle. What are you avoiding? And then what might happen if you faced it instead? What pain might pass, what space might open up, what version of you might finally exhale and say, thank you, I have been waiting for this. So as you go into your week, here's a little prompt that you can spend some time journaling about or just thinking about. If I gave this thing my full attention without judgment and fear, what would shift? Listen, you don't have to take action today. Just noticing it is enough. And maybe you can stop running. Maybe you can turn towards the thing just a little and say, I see you. I see you over there. And I won't ignore you forever. Thank you for joining me today on One Question. If this landed for you, share it with a friend or come find me on Instagram or Substack. I'd love to know what you're learning as you reflect on this. And if you're feeling brave, answer that question out loud to yourself today. What am I avoiding? You might really be surprised at the answers you're ready for. See you next Sunday. And until then, Be very, very kind to yourself and keep asking better questions.